Now let's discuss interviewing by age or gender. Knowing the age and gender of a person already gives us an idea of what imbalances are probable, and thereby which signs and symptoms we should look for. This is because there are specific physiological factors that affect the respective genders and people of different ages. There are also certain lifestyle and emotional influences that are more relevant to specific genders and age groups. These are, of course, only probabilities and are definitely not certainties. This is because even though a person's age and gender will predispose them to certain imbalances, there are a great many other factors that will also have had an influence that may have resulted in completely different imbalances. Women lose blood when they menstruate and when they give birth. This means that they have a tendency to develop not just blood deficiency, but also spleen chi deficiency, because the spleen will have to generate good chi constantly to help replenish the blood that has been lost. This constant demand on their spleen will also lead to their Mingmen becoming weaker, especially when they are 35 and enter the fifth Jing cycle, where there is a natural decline in strength of the Mingmen. This will manifest with an increased tendency to dampness and phlegm. This is the reason many women's bodies become more pear-shaped at this age. When a woman is 49 years old, her yin and blood will be so depleted that she will enter menopause. This means that patterns of blood deficiency and yin deficiency heat are more probable from this age onwards in women. As stated, it is very important to be observant of other possible patterns. Women's tendency to blood deficiency means that women may also manifest with liver qi stagnation. This is because blood helps to moisten the liver and make it flexible. Furthermore, women's position in society and the expectations placed on modern women in terms of having a career whilst being a good mother, looking after the home, trying to look good and having an active social life can all help to create a sense of frustration that will stagnate her liver qi. Young men tend more towards excess heat, especially in the liver and stomach, because young men are more yang in general, but also due to their lifestyle, where a higher intake of alcohol is more likely than in women and older men. As written, these examples are only broad generalizations, and many people do not necessarily fit into these descriptions. Teenagers tend to develop excess heat. The reason for this is that their Mingmen flares up during this period. This creates heat in various organs. Heat in the stomach can manifest in their appetites. Most people have experienced a 16-year-old boy's insatiable appetite, and in their skin, where the heat in the stomach and damp heat will mean that they are prone to acne. The increased heat from Mingmen will also affect their mood. This is because the heat will agitate the liver and heart, making them more hot-tempered and moody. Their libido is also relatively high due to the increased heat from the Mingmen. Babies and small infants tend to develop food stagnation. This is because their stomach and spleen are not fully developed yet. The stomach and spleen are first fully developed from about the age of 7. This means that babies find it difficult to transform and process the food that they consume. One must therefore be careful of what they are given to eat, how much they are fed at a time, and how often they are fed. This also, of course, applies to older children, but it is especially relevant for infants. Many disorders that affect babies and toddlers will relate to their tendency to develop what is known as accumulation disorder and the patterns of imbalance that this can engender. Because children's yin is not strong, they tend to degenerate pathologically heat, especially when they get ill. When they are affected by shi qi, they will quickly develop a high fever because their yin is not capable of controlling the heat. This is also seen in the evening when they are tired. When their yin cannot control yang in the evening, they become overexcited and restless, and their cheeks become red and flushed. The older people get, the more they become both yin deficient and yang deficient. This is because their kidney yin becomes continuously weaker, and the kidneys are the root of all yin and yang in the body. However, this is not the whole story. It is because kidney yin deficiency and yang deficiency will undermine other organs and these organs' production of the vital substances, resulting in a tendency to qi deficiency and blood deficiency. At the same time, there is also an increasing tendency to develop stagnations of qi, blood, and phlegm the older one gets. This can be clearly seen in the body movements of older people. There is not only a lack of strength, but also a lot of stiffness in their movements. Their skin will often manifest signs of blood stagnation, with many spider nevi, visible purple blood vessels, and liver spots. Some Chinese medicine doctors also believe that there is an increasing accumulation of pathogenic heat retained inside the body as people get older. This is because each time there has been a pathological invasion of pathogenic factor, there will remain a residue of the pathogenic factor in the body. These residues of pathogenic factor will accumulate, creating heat and stagnating the vital substances. This is one of the theories behind the development of age-related cancer. Thank you for your attention.